Yes, guys, welcome to another episode of Zina Acting Tips. Today, you find me in the office, and that is because I mean business, alright? The tips I'm going to give you today is actually all about mindset, specifically having an abundance mindset. Now, what do I mean by that? I'm going to start off with saying that we're kind of sold a very, very strange narrative in this industry, okay? We're sold, look, it's a tough industry. You know, it takes years to become an actor. There's not much work out there. So what it does to our mindset is we have the very opposite of an abundance mindset. We feel very narrow. We feel very crushed. We feel like we're fighting for absolutely every crumb in this industry. And I'm here to turn around that narrative. And I think that actors should actually think in abundance. And actors that are particularly successful have an abundance mindset. They don't see limitations in this industry. And that's what I want to get through to you in this very, very special episode. So we sold this narrative. Other acting coaches, you know, they'll say, look, you've got to earn your stripes. It's going to take years and years and years. You know, people have said, look, you've got to be in the right place at the right time. How many times have you heard that? It's all about luck. I don't believe any of that. I genuinely don't. And the thing is as well, I've got people that I coach on a daily basis and I see them taking on these methods and I see people getting the first professional acting jobs within a month. You know, it's really, really not like that. And we have to stop in this industry selling this narrative, because in 2022, it may have been true in the past, but in 2022, it just isn't true. And I will tell you why. One, the route into the industry has changed. It used to be, and I think I've mentioned this before, that you would go to an acting school, particularly in the UK, it would be in London, you'd get into a lot of debt, you'd then come out fully formed apparently, and you would then get an agent, and then you would be in the hunt for jobs and roles. It doesn't work like that anymore. You know, this, like Jodie Comer, for instance, you know, she never went to one of these acting schools, but what she did is she went to a part-time acting school, got an agent, and she's done incredibly well. So the traditional route is not as popular anymore, and it's not needed, you know? So there's that element to it. Also, the fact that there's no acting jobs out there, there just is loads. The problem is so many actors have this vision of what this industry is and the route to this industry is, that we fail to recognise, or we don't see where the work is. Now let me explain this more. So the average understanding of what the route to becoming an actor is that you do some training, then you get an agent, then you get auditions, then you get an audition, then you get the role, and then you progress on this one road, okay? Now, what happens is if you've got a vision of this one road, you fail to spot all of these opportunities that are on different paths. And therefore, you're very, very limited as to how your acting business can progress. Now, I'm going to teach you a totally different way to think about acting. First thing is, you set out. It doesn't matter how much training you have had. It doesn't matter how you've come into the industry, but you very, very quickly decide that you are an acting business, okay? And then you look around and you say, right, I need income as an acting business. I need to find the different routes, or the different places, where I can find acting work to come into my acting business. Now, big production companies, yes, the traditional routes, they're still there. And the big production companies use casting directors and the auditions and things like that. But you can't just sit around and wait for your agent to make your acting business succeed. Remember, what we've got is we've got casting directors, but we've also got lots of production companies coming down the scale that are advertising for actors all the time. Okay? So you can actually apply for your own roles. Yes, you can. For your acting business. So you go out, you apply for different roles, but because some people are just constantly thinking of the traditional route, they don't do that. So therefore, they're leaving money on the table. Their acting business doesn't succeed, doesn't fuel itself. As well as that, they don't look into things like voiceover. They don't look into things like working as, say, medical role play. They don't look into things like content creation, being paid as an actor to do content creation. There's so much work out there. And there's some very, very smart actors are seeing themselves in an acting business and finding all these different roles. Now, what actually happens? They are constantly working and constantly getting paid, so their acting business is succeeding. Now, what I've found is that these actors, they're getting so much experience, becoming so confident that when maybe that big audition does come around, they're confident, they're working, they're doing it, they nail that audition. Because they're an actor that's constantly working, rather than an actor that's just sitting by the phone. And those actors and their acting business is succeeding, and succeeding incredibly well. Why? Because they have an abundance mentality. They don't see limits. They see this industry as abundant, and there is lots of work out there. Plenty. It's just this traditional route, this narrative that you've been sold that's holding you back. So it's so important that as soon as possible, if you're an actor, think of yourself as a business and then get yourself an abundance mindset where you genuinely stop thinking that there's no work out there and it's all about luck, and just start to totally reconfigure your understanding and say, look, there's plenty of work out there. I just need to think that it's not just one path. There's so many different ways in order to create an acting business and get regularly paid. And do you know what? I promise you that if you do this, you will succeed. Whatever your aims are, you will succeed much quicker. Right, wow, what an episode. So I've literally had to explain such an awful lot in terms of mindset and the way that you apply yourself and your mindset and reconfigure your mindset. It's been a tough one, but I hope you've got an awful lot of value from it. And if you, as usual, if you've ever got any questions, make sure you DM me, make sure you get in the comments, and I will be happy to answer any question you've got. As well as that, make sure you subscribe, press the bell button so that you get every single episode direct, and that you are fully aware of when the next episode drops. And the next one will be next week, so make sure you are there. Bye!